with Odell Beckham Jr. and with Le'Veon Bell. And they got even with me last night because we were going to do a couple of segments today called Skip Rides the Troller Coaster. We got thousands and thousands of responses from all of our faithful fans, all of them clever, combative, laugh out loud.
Okay.
And guess what happened? Boom and boom happened and wiped out those segments. So thank you for all your responses. We'll do that later, but we got bigger things to talk about now.
I was really looking forward to that too, though.
I was too. I had questions ready. But we will get to it at some point. It's just too much news to talk about, and we will talk about the big day in the NFL. We are going to start in Cleveland. Odell Beckham Jr. is leaving the Big Apple. The Giants have agreed to trade the three-time Pro Bowler to the Browns for a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and safety Jabril Peppers. Rumors of a Beckham trade have been around since last season, and our own Jay Glazer said it would happen. We're going to have him later on the show, but the Giants GM said multiple times this offseason they wouldn't trade him. Beckham has 44 touchdowns in his first 5 years in the NFL and is now joining Baker Mayfield and his former LSU teammate Jarvis Landry in Cleveland. So, Chris, how surprised are you that the Giants traded Odell?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 5. And it's that low because it made no logical sense to me. Okay, I have it that low because I was trying to figure out why does it make sense to trade OBJ? You just signed him to, what, a $90 million deal? You paid him $20-something million to play 12 games? So why would you trade him? But the only reason I thought it might happen is because I have faith in Jay Glazer. I know, he doesn't throw things out there that don't stick. And because he said it and he said it with confidence and he doubled down on it when people challenged him on it, I thought maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And I'm not even sure that was the case. But when I look at it, the only public misstep that I could think of since he signed the contract was when he had the interview with Lil Wayne, and he kind of called out Eli, but a lot of people knew he was telling the truth, so I don't think that was that big of a deal.
I don't think the Giants loved it, but go ahead.
Yeah, but it was, he had no Antonio Brown type stuff. People got mad about the business decision he made on the onside kick against the Bears when he didn't dive for the ball, but that might have been a smart move for your best wide receiver not to get it. So I'm just saying it didn't make any logical sense to me, but I had faith in what Jay Glazer said. So that's why I guess I'm at a 5. But when I look at it in hindsight and I look at what Dave Gettleman's been doing, now it makes all the sense in the world because I think Gettleman, since taking over the Giants, has made bad move after bad move after bad move. And I think it started in last year's draft when Saquon Barkley was great last year. But still, he's a running back. Your quarterback was 37, 38. You need the heir apparent, and that was a huge draft. You could have got Sam Darnold. Whether you like him or not, I think Sam Darnold has a bright future.
I'm not sure about that.
But
I'm just not sure.
Okay, but I think they should have taken him. Or it was a quarterback-rich draft. It was a quarterback-rich draft. I think that started it. Snacks Harrison is gone. Eli Apple is gone. Olivier Vernon is gone. Like, he's trading away the most talented people. And of all the stories I read out of New York about this deal, no one can figure out what the plan is. Are they tanking for Tua? That's the new phrase there people are throwing out in New York. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. The people are saying, well, they're rebuilding around the 38-year-old Eli. They can't be doing that. That can't make any sense. So only thing that does make sense is they're going to tank and try to get to it, but I don't think that's a good...
they're going to try to get Dwayne Haskins if he doesn't fall to them at 6. They could maybe even trade up if they have to.
And try to trade up to try to get maybe a Kyler Murray or something?
No,
but they don't want Kyler. Yeah, Haskins is the guy. Some people think maybe they might try to package some of these picks and go for Derek Carr. I don't love that, but it's just one mistake after another for Gettleman. And the fans in New York are upset, and I think rightly so.
So, let me give you my big picture on this.
Okay.
I actually liked what the Giants did. I was not at all surprised. I'm a 0 on the surprise scale, and I am looking forward to having Jay Glazer on a little later in the show. I obviously loved what Baker Mayfield and company got. because I think Odell will be much more valuable in Cleveland than he would have been going forward in New York. And I want to make this case up front. The Giants got a lot in return for Odell. Trust me on this. They did get the 17th overall pick as opposed to what Pittsburgh got for Antonio, because they basically had to give away Antonio. Will somebody please take take this contract off our hands? They got a 3rd and a 5th for Antonio. This is the 17th overall pick that you could package to trade up if you think you need to trade up for Dwayne Haskins. And they got another pick, third round pick, which is pretty valuable. They also got Jabril Peppers, who was, to me, one of the most improved players in the whole National Football League last year for the Cleveland Browns. I loved him at Michigan. I can't remember if you covered him
little
bit.
I think we would have
He was Mr. Do-It-All,
yeah.
He,
a little bit.
Listen, by the end of the year last year, he was a disruptive force for the Cleveland Browns. Now, Greg Williams was the coordinator, and he's not there anymore, but he was using him as a hybrid, like a walk-around safety where he was playing linebacker, edge rusher. He was doing everything. He will make, I believe, some Pro Bowls for the New York Football Giants. So don't underestimate. Again, they let Landon Collins walk for that enormous contract that he got from Washington. So I want to make it clear up front, they didn't just give Odell away.
But do you think they got equal value?
No.
I agree.
Okay,
Compared to
here's
Antonio Brown,
the
it
point.
looks great.
You know how this show works. You have to put your feelings, your emotions, and your opinion right here in concrete on the middle of the table. And then you have to live up to it or stand by it or back off it. I said before the Pittsburgh Steelers gave Antonio his money, no, bad idea. There's no way I'm going to invest that much money in a diva wide receiver who plays a dependent position. He's not the quarterback. He's not even the running back. He has to hope that he gets open and the quarterback finds him and throws him the football. So he can't have that much immediate impact on the scoreboard as the quarterback can. So you can't pay Antonio, or in this case, Odell, that much money when they both think they've become the equivalent of your sport that you know and love, NBA stars. Antonio, Odell thought that they were LeBron James. They have huge Instagram followings. Odell way bigger than Antonio's, but still big. Nonetheless, it's 12 million to 3 million. But they both act like NBA superstars who need their way and they need their touches and they're going to pout if they don't get the football. You can't win with those kind of guys in the wrong situation. And the Big Apple that you know and love yourself because you spent a lot of time in that area, Odell was a bad fit in New York. And I was shocked they gave him that much money. They gave him the sun and the moon. And that was shortly after. Remember the Paris hotel room incident? It was soon after that they said, oh, yeah, it's still okay. We'll give you all this money. And they soon lived to regret it. And Pittsburgh soon lived to regret it. So both the Steelers and the Giants, those are two cornerstone NFL franchises, they soon realized their mistake and they undid their mistake. And when you cut bait, when you cut your losses, you're not going to get return on the dollar for what you paid them. You're not going to get that much back. I thought Gettleman got way more back than the Steelers got. Okay, so here's Odell to me. Big Apple Media. He was a walking back page tabloid headline, and once he started making those headlines and back page pictures, he felt like he had to live up to being Odell and the Big Apple. He became a caricature of himself. Got the wild hair, obviously, and then the antics started. And I don't know if we have the video. Do we have it, Chris, or not? All the incidents? You there? I think we've...
Maybe we don't have
Maybe we don't have it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not hearing you.
Here it is.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So there's Josh Norman to start with. You remember that one?
Yep.
And then pretty soon, this just went completely over the edge. You want to talk about distractions. These are monumental seismic distractions. Then he attacks the kicking net. Remember this one? Then what do we have coming up next?
The apology.
And he had to act like a dog, marking his territory. That didn't go over real well with the Giants or the league. You remember that? And then next up, we got the boat trip picture. Remember, they went to the playoffs only one time with Odell in 5 years. And how did he go prepare for a game at Lambeau on the frozen tundra? He took a group of receivers to South Beach for the day. After a game on Sunday night, they went on Monday to South Beach, and they took that picture. And somebody posted, I'm not sure who posted it, but it was everywhere. And then what happened at Lambeau? Early third down, key play in the game. There he is. He dropped the third down pass. And then later in the game, he dropped that pass in the back of the end zone. That's how he prepared for the game at Lambeau on a yacht in South Beach. It's not right. And then came the Paris Hotel picture, the video with the Instagram model and whatever was spread all over the bed. It's one bad look after another. He acted up, he acted out, and it just continued into last year. You're not going to win in New York with Odell Beckham Jr. So what do? You cut your losses. There's only one place that I believe Odell could maybe be successful, and it's Cleveland, Ohio. Another place that you have experience because you spent a little part of your...
I finished high school there, was a college near there, worked there.
So you know the heartbeat of that city. Obviously, a much smaller market than the New York market. So there's not the media attention on the daily basis that you get in New York. Who is there? It's not just a former teammate of his at LSU and Jarvis Landry. It's a guy that he is so close to. It's brother close. It's soulmate close. It's the one guy he'll listen to. They were born 3 weeks apart in the month of November in 1992 in the state of Louisiana. They both obviously went to LSU. They were together as brothers for 3 years at LSU. One went in the middle of the first round because he was, the 12th overall pick, was Odell. And then late in the second round went Jarvis Landry to Miami. So now they are reunited, and I think Jarvis just might be the only man on earth that Odell will listen to. So maybe